Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we tell you why America leave Panama Canal to Panama. Between 1899 and 1903, there was a civil war in Colombia, of which Panama, at the time, was a part. This was the Guerra de Mil Días, the Thousand-Day War. While the conservatives won in Colombia, the liberals, and neither of those labels actually fit our concept of conservative and liberal, won in Panama. Since there was no good way to move troops from Colombia to Panama, except by sea, and we controlled the seas, Colombia couldn't send troops in any numbers. There's some comic opera in there too. Some Colombian troops were landed in Colon, on the Atlantic side. But U.S. Marines took over the rail and insisted the Colombians pay to send troops on the railroad, and they hadn't brought the money with them. So we more or less seduced the Panamanians into declaring independence and then recognized and supported them in this. Enter, now, the person of Philippe Bunau-Varilla, a Frenchman who had worked on the failed French attempt, and a man who cared about one thing in life only, that a canal through Panama be built by somebody, and he didn't care who that somebody was. Bunau-Varilla crafted a treaty and convinced the Panamanians that it was necessary to get the U.S. to recognize and defend Panama, and to build the canal. The Panamanians initially balked, but decided they needed the U.S. enough to go along with it. It was a stinker, indeed. The treaty was so goddamned unfair to Panama that the United States Senate was initially inclined to reject it. However, since no one actually offered a decent treaty, we went along with it, too. Big mistake, because it was such a stinker, and we knew it was, we never felt right about it. Thus, pretty much every time Panama asked for a modification, we gave it. That's what predictably happens when fundamentally decent people realize they hold unfair advantages they're just not entitled to and really don't need. The momentum being set already. And Jiminy Peanut, the nation's worst ex-president being in the White House, it was probably inevitable we'd give up the canal. Mind you, it was, is, and ever shall be the strategic prize of the world. We should not have given it up. I say that even being married to an ethereally beautiful, Panamanian girl for the last 40 years. Instead, one wishes that, back in 1903, we had offered Panama a fair treaty, one with, yes, a perpetual lease, but also a combined military force, joint police patrols, combined court system, combined prison. Equal niceties and dignities for their flag and ours, a fair cut of gross revenues from the canal, opening up of canal zone jobs to Panamanians, and, maybe most importantly, an offer of eventual statehood on certain conditions being met.